Welcome to Sizergh. The historic house, gardens and estate have been in the Strickland family for over 800 years, and there are so many ways you can experience Sizergh's unique history and beauty. This film will show you the most accessible way to explore the gardens at Sizergh. Complex and varied, the garden areas at Sizergh are interlinked, and together they tell the story of the family garden which has developed over hundreds of years. Explore the rock garden, stumpery and orchard, plus the Dutch garden, kitchen garden and the herbaceous border. There's something new to see in every season. There is a map available at the visitor centre showing different routes, one of which is all on one level and takes in most of the key areas. This is the most accessible path and is suitable for pushchairs, those with reduced mobility and trampers. 2 powered mobility vehicles, or trampers, are available for hire at visitor reception. Please book online in advance of your visit. This sloping gravel path takes us up to the south garden and our first view of the house. Moving through the avenue of yews will take us to the oldest part of the garden, the main lawn. The south garden and main lawn are the perfect spaces for families to play and relax. Take the sloping gravel path up to the fruit wall, built in 1739. The wall is faced with red brick, and as it's south-facing, it absorbs the heat in the day and disperses it like a radiator overnight, helping pears and grapevines to grow outside in Cumbria. From the main lawn, we can see down into the Dutch garden. The patches of long grass and flowers here are home to a host of insects and butterflies, and if you look up, you get a great view of the solar tower above you. From the top of the steps, here on the east terrace, there is a stunning view over the lake. This is called the Mirror Pond, and in the best conditions it reflects the manor house perfectly. A gravel path leads around to the lakeside where the terrain is all grass, so this is best avoided in muddy conditions. From here, the gravel path leads to the rock garden. Built in the 1920s, this is the largest limestone rock garden in the UK. It was originally planted with acers, conifers and herbaceous perennials, and the now mature acers are a highlight of the garden, with their magnificent purple foliage in the spring and summer, which turns to fiery red and orange in autumn. Later on, the garden was further developed and more ferns were added. In fact, the garden is home to 4 national collections of hardy ferns: Asplenium, Cystopteris, Dryopteris and Osmunda, which can be found in the stumpery, rock garden, kitchen garden and orchard. Pools and bog areas in the rock garden are alive with newts, frogs and toads, and small holes in walls and trees are the perfect place for blackcaps and spotted flycatchers to nest. There are uneven surfaces in the rock garden which can be slippery in wet weather. Follow the gravel path to the kitchen garden, which has been providing food for Sizergh since at least 1750. Just as the Stricklands would have grown fruit and vegetables to be used in their kitchen, today's produce, such as rhubarb, wild garlic, asparagus and parsley, is supplied directly to the cafe on a daily basis. You can even take a little memento of Sizergh home with you from the garden plant donation stall. The garden here is planted with a mix of organically grown vegetables and flowers, and is at its best in May and June. The flowers encourage pollinators, which attract birds which eat the aphids. There is ramp access to one of the greenhouses where we grow much of what you see in the kitchen garden from seed. Take the grass path through the orchard where you'll find over 65 varieties of apple tree. Harvesting begins in August with early varieties and continues until the end of October. Surplus fruit and vegetables are donated to Waste into Wellbeing, a local charity that provides meals for the community. Experience the cloud-like blossoms in spring, the carpet of wild meadow under the trees in summer, and ripe fruit in early autumn. There's always something blooming in the 50-metre-long herbaceous border, which provides continuous colour, such as echinops and Salvia nemorosa caradonna, Rosa blush noisette, Geranium pratense, Plenum violaceum, and Alcea rosea, halo apricot. As you move around the garden, there's lots of scents and smells. alluding to areas where people shouldn't be afraid to touch. The Stumpery opened in 2016, and every spring more than a dozen varieties of miniature daffodils complement the fresh green unfurling fronds of the ferns. Stumperies were popular in the late Victorian era when they were seen as a fashionable way to display and grow ferns. In fact, the ferns grow everywhere. This Cercis siliquastrum has its own fern garden. A bark mulch path leads round through the trees to the wooded knoll, a mix of native and ornamental. There is a picnic bench partway round, overlooking the dipping pond. Talk to a gardener or a volunteer. There's always a member of staff around to answer any questions you may have. We hope to see you soon.